Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mic check. Mic check. We lit. We lit. We lit. What up? What up? What up? Hey, man. Welcome to another episode of Who Gonna Catch These Hands. I'm your host, Joe Prophet. You know, I'm always with the council. Welcome to episode 2, man. Look, yesterday we went in on that, on that booth situation, man. And I'm sorry. That nigga pussy. It was crazy. I mean, we kind of stayed there for a little minute. We got a little. It's a little different today. We'll talk about this Espinoza and Robisa Ramirez. We're gonna talk Shakur Kid Austin. We're gonna talk Navarrete Valdez. We're gonna talk this Madrimov, man. This Madrimov situation is kind of crazy, man. Like Madrimov, he's fighting December 21st, and he's fighting again February 22nd. Man, stop playing. You lying, dog. No. I don't know why they playing with Boachuk like that. Like he's not like that. I don't understand it. We just seen him in a close fight with Virgil. Some might have say even won the fight. I mean, it was. It depends on what how you scoring and what you thinking, how you think that fight went. But Boachuk is not the guy I think they need to be playing with like that. I mean, Madrimov. I mean, had a very tough fight with Bud. Some people think that he overwhelmed Bud a little bit. I think Bud kind of clearly won that fight. That's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is, I don't know why they lined in Magic. I don't know. It could be a setup. Uh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But at times like this,
It's that time, dog.
you
We got
know,
to go to the council,
you,
dog.
you know how it goes, man. We got the council this morning. Hey, Nick, I'm gonna start with you. How you feeling about this situation, man?
I actually think it's good for him. It's good for people across the pond like that. That's promoted differently from American fighters to be in situations like this back to back. And it's good that Alex Sheik putting it on display. So if he comes back, bounce back off the Virgil off and beat this guy and double back and beat him, or Stanionis, I'm not Stanionis, but Madrimal come in here and bounce back off the Bud loss, 154 is getting shaky up there for sure.
But what if he stops Boachuk, or what if it's the war? Boachuk gonna be ready to go in 60 days like that?
It depends. It depends. I'm pretty sure they got a backup plan on a replacement opponent, but most of the time, 12-round fight, and it's a war, he gonna be still suspended by the time it's time to make that fight. So I don't know.
I mean, that's okay. You're a fighter. You know what I mean? You get into I mean, 12 round, 10-round war with a guy, and you got another fight in 60 days. How long are you even taking a rest? Like, what's the rest period like? And then when are you back in the gym? I'm asking.
The last fight, yeah, probably like a week or two before you get back in the gym, right back on it.
And we talking about a fight within 60 days.
Yeah, probably. Yep, about a
Okay.
week or two.
I mean,
Because his training camp, his training camp probably be about 4 to 6 weeks.
okay. No specs, man. Let's go to my UK brethren, man. How you feeling about this, man? What are you thinking about this situation?
I mean, it's an interesting one. It's very, very interesting. For me, looking at this fight with Barchuk, it already looks like, again, as you're saying, it looks like it's going to be a war. So seeing Madrimov just roll off into the new year into a fight just like that, I don't see it. I really don't see it. But I'm interested. I feel like it's clever marketing. If anything, I'd see it as incentive for Barchuk to really want to be training these power shots that we know him for, to really go in and do some damage. Do you know what I'm saying? And slow down Madrimov's train a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel for somebody like Barchuk to just see that Madrimov's double booking himself already, again, it's a bit undermining to a man's strengths. So I would just be interested in seeing Barchuk really come and turn and really emphasize this war, because if if Madrimov would be able to get cleared for his next fight, I'd look on it personally like, boy, I must not have done my job then, because he's saying that he's trying to come out of this fight with me unscathed.
I mean, we literally just seen a situation like this with Tevin Farmer. Zepeda was set up to fight Shakur after this, and Tevin Farmer made it very, very clear. Hey, this guy's not making it to Shakur. I don't know what y'all. He said, he's like, I don't know what y'all thinking. Like he ain't making it, and he was dead on. Like, I mean, I feel like he overwhelms Zepeda in that, and I don't really want to get up. But I mean, that's a similar situation. What I'm saying, like, you lining these guys up with fights ahead, and the guy in front of him is definitely looking at it like, hey, what? So you just think he's just gonna run through me or something? Like, hey, and that's the thing. Like, what if he loses to Boachuk? Like, you know what I mean? Is Boachuk going back to get the rematch with Ortiz, which probably what people want to see for real, for sure. You know what I mean? But would he even get cleared for the rematch? Depending on how the fight goes. I don't know. I don't know. JM, man. You know what I mean? DMV guy, man. How you feeling about the lining them? They lining Madrimov up back to back like that. With an opponent like Boachuk, man. How you feeling about that?
I love it. Madrimov, although he is under 12 fights in his pro record, he's a well-decorated amateur, about 100 fights. And as you know, at the big stage, on the big stage in those tournaments, he comes from an experience where you're fighting multiple times in the same day. Right. So he's not that far removed from that reality, only being a pro since 2018. I actually don't think that the Boachuk fight is going to be as tough as people think.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's a terrible matchup for Boachuk. It's a nightmare matchup for him as a very plodding, mechanical kind of fighter. Mm-hmm. I would actually think that Madrimov stops him under 8 rounds.
Really?
And as long as he comes out without cut, he should be fine. Big, strong, 154-pound guy for the division, durable guy. I think he'll stop him and be ready to roll for the next fight as planned.
Hold on now, let that nigga cook.
So, wow. So, I mean, do you feel like Madrimov is just gonna run through Vergil Ortiz the same way? Or
if they fought, if they fight, I think he'll definitely. He's just got too much experience on Vergil Ortiz, size, skills, power. I see him stopping Vergil Ortiz as well.
Oh wow, Dre, one of Chi-Town's finest, man. How do you feel about this Madrimov situation, man? How they got him lined up back to back like this. What's your thoughts?
Well, when I heard it, I was actually shocked because I thought, okay, they pulled the Boachuk fight, because I was like, Boachuk fighting in 3 weeks,
right?
Against Madrimov. So how is that happening?
Yeah.
But when I seen it, I say, man, this boy Madrimov a killer. But
I think it's real disrespectful to Boachuk. You know, whether whoever we think is gonna win the fight or not, but you know, like you said, we done seen this happen in boxing a few times, and
Yeah.
it never works out.
Even
You
in
know what I'm saying?
even in recent history, yeah.
Man, Boachuk got a 93% KO rate, and he was on his way to stopping Virgil in that last fight. You know,
Man, he definitely hurt.
And I just feel like we just gotta see. But at the end of the day, off the eye test, I gotta just agree with everything JM said. You know, just the skills. You know, Boachuk is very strong, very crafty. You know, but when we just talk about skills and you know footwork and movement and just fundamentals, I think Madrimov's on a different level. Just how he was able to hang in there with Bud Crawford and just, you know, be real tactical in there with him. You know what I'm saying? Throw him off his square. You know, we've never really seen that. You know, so I think it's a no-brainer. He should beat Boachuk. But if he go in there and get knocked out, man, Turkey got to make it right. It's got to be Boachuk Virgil too.
I mean, I like that though. I mean, I always thought they should run it back anyway. Like real talk, like that fight was definitely worth the part two. You know, I felt like you know that Virgil got overwhelmed at times in there, but then there's a lot of times he stood his ground in there too. I mean, it's just one of them fights that was worth. It's worth a rematch. I believe. You know, but yeah, I think it's a big mistake. Just putting them fights like that. Even when Tyson Fury tried to do it, got his motherfucking neck in there, knocked out by Ngannou, like playing around, you know, like you just because it's just impossible to say you're not thinking about the next fight. You already got it lined up, you know what I mean? So I think it puts you at a disadvantage, you know what I mean? I think it puts the opponent at a supreme advantage because he knows that you're not fully thinking about him, that you're overlooking him. You know what I mean? So, and now, like I agree with you, Dre. It's like with a guy like Boachuk, that's very dangerous. Like you definitely don't want to do that at all. You know what I mean? But hey, I don't know. And let's move on to this Shakur and Kid Austin. Shakur and Kid Austin, man. I like the fight. You know what I mean? I like what Schofield and his dad on, you know. I like how they moving. I like how they talking, you know. A lot of people saying that Shakur gonna wipe this guy easy, woo to woo, all that. And I'm just like, let's just see it. You know what I mean? They talking about a lot of these guys that want to fight Shakur. He's calling them out. He stepped up. He wants to fight. I feel like if he goes to a round with Shakur, win, lose, or draw, it's a win for him because you're saying that, you know, this guy's not on the level, but hey, man, how is he not if he goes 12 rounds, he doesn't get knocked out? I mean, you could say, if he gets, I don't know. I'm going back to the council, man. Like, man, talk to me, man. Maniac, Schofield and Shakur. What do you think about that fight? How do you feel about it? How do you think it goes? Man, let me know.
Terrible fight for Shakur. Lose situation for him, in my opinion. I think he comes in here and schools Kid Austin, showing that his levels to it. He's gonna be heavily criticized for it. Hopefully, it's not as boring as the De Los Santos fight, but I think he's gonna be heavily criticized for it regardless. I don't like it for Kid Austin because I think he's in a good position. Like I've been saying, he's ranked high in the WBA. We just seen Tank go on TV yesterday and say he don't know where he's gonna be at in boxing next year. Right. I think it's a perfect position. Right. Why is Kid Austin risking? You know, I don't know why he's risking that for Shakur. I don't think Shakur is that important at 35 anymore. So I think it's unnecessary. That's my opinion. But I've been saying it. He ranked. We don't know. Tank is up and down with the belt and the organization. It's a perfect position for Kid Austin to be in. I think Oscar realized that too. But that's my feel. I got Shakur by domination.
Specs, what you think? Shakur, Kid Austin, How you thinking that? How you thinking that goes? Talk to me, dog.
Yeah, man. I know. Interesting fight again. I agree with your sentiments, man. In terms of it being lose for Shakur, like another flat performance for him. Do we want to see that? No. Do I expect Shakur to pull out something that we haven't seen before? Not really. Like, can he school Kid Austin? I mean, in terms of outscoring him, maybe so. But if this goes 12 rounds, like you said, it's going to be win-win for Kid Austin.
Yeah.
It's it's not the best fight. It's not the greatest fight that I'm looking forward to, if I'd be totally honest. But yeah, man, it's one of them ones. I'd be interested to see if I can be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you gotta love about the sport, man. You know, we got to find out. At the end of the day, they got to get in the ring. You can say what you want. You know, all that talking is cool, but at the end of the day, they got to get in the ring. JM, man, Kid Austin, Stevenson, how you feeling about that? How you think that one goes?
Hey, Joe, I love the fight, man. And in reality, at 135, right now as we speak, there is no other option for Shakur.
Right.
So I like this fight. I like the opportunity for Kid Austin. He's an overwhelming underdog. And like Maniac said, it is lose for Shakur. I think something Tank said yesterday was pretty telling when, somebody asked him, was he scared of Shakur? He said, as boxers, we're not scared of guys that we don't believe can hurt us.
Right.
So I think the only real thing, without being reckless, Floyd has to be concerned about is not being outboxed, which I'm sure he will be. But Joe, I'd like to revisit one thing, if I could.
Yeah.
About Boachuk that my Chicago brother DeAndre.
Well, you're a hater, boy. I heard that.
It's a couple things. I think if he gets stopped by Brandon Adams, so let's back up with this knockout percentage that DeAndre said.
93%.
As soon as he fought people that we know, Brian Mendoza went to distance, Virgil Ortiz went to distance, Brandon Adams stopped him. We do know Nathaniel Gallimore, he stopped him. But, that's a journeyman. So with Boachuk,
I almost stopped Nathaniel Gallimore.
I think he did stop him. Didn't he? He stopped Gallimore.
No, I said I almost stopped Nathaniel Gallimore, but that's a different story.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you almost stopped him, that says it. So my point is, as good as Boachuk is, I think what we're seeing is the better his competition gets, his performances aren't indicative of that 90 whatever percentage record, and I think he's tailor-made for Madrigal. But I do like the Shakur Schofield fight. Shakur probably by unanimous decision, and if he doesn't drop him multiple times, if he's not beating him up and really, really dominating, if he's not pressing forward, looking like he's trying to close the show and entertain, as Maniac said, I think that he'll be showered with boos and criticisms afterward.
And that works in Kid Austin's favor, you would say.
Yeah, I think it works in Kid Austin's favor, being this young in such a high-profile fight in Saudi Arabia with the amount of eyes that'll be on him. And yeah, I think it works in his favor. Not only that, but financially as well.
Okay.
JM, I want to say to this too. Every fighter goes through growing pains. Unfortunately, he did get stopped by Brandon Adams. But that was a while ago. you're only as good as your last fight. And what I've seen against Virgil, I see a guy who's extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. We just gotta see, man. I just feel like it's never a good idea. On paper, Madrimov should sweep him. I do agree with you on that. Better skills, better fundamentals, better brain. Just he's the whole package, but
and much more size than Virgil.
Virgil's a big boy. Virgil ain't small though. But I've never really looked to them next to each other. But he's you just can't do that, man. I can only imagine how Boachuk is feeling, like they already overlooking him. So remember,
that's a problem. That is a damn problem.
Underestimated guy is a dangerous guy.
For sure.
Well, I think y'all are interpreting it as disrespect, but what you're seeing now is really a return to the roots and the essence of boxing. This is what boxing used to be. Boxing used to be, hey, I got 2 or 3 fighters that, are in my weight class, that are champions. I can negotiate multiple fights at the same time. That's boxing. That's new in this era of fighting once every 18 months and fighting twice in 36 months. That is what is hurting boxing. This is actually an adrenaline injection in boxing when a fighter is willing to challenge history, challenge himself, and push himself to the limit. Because what I'm saying, like the question you asked Maniac, if he comes out of this fight with Boachuk without cuts, guess what? He just had a camp. He just made weight.
Yeah.
He's in shape. All he has to basically do is recover, and he's already ready to go.
And now, what if that shit don't happen?
That's why we have it. You test yourself.
Yeah.
You test yourself.
Because I don't see him coming out of Boachuk. I don't see him coming out that fight just clean. Like, I mean, if you believe that he's tailor-made for Madrimov to get him out of there, I want to see that. You know what I mean? That's go ahead.
Let me say this. As soon as Boachuk is pushed backwards, he getting him out of there, because Boachuk has one gear, and that's to come forward. And what you saw him doing to a guy who came up from 147, coming forward against him, it ain't going to go that way against a guy as big as Madrimov. He's not pushing him backwards. Madrimov is going to turn him, push him backwards, disarm him, and stop him.
Wow. Hey. I would like to see that. I would like to see that. Lunatic, man, talk to me, man. How you feeling about this, man?
Well, I love the 154-pound division right now. I think it's one of the most exciting divisions in boxing. I think that when we look at Boachuk and Madrimov, we have the East European fighter going against the East European fighter. Now, Madrimov, I think Boachuk's only is that his herky-jerky style is unappealing to judges because it gives the impression that maybe he's hurt, maybe the legs aren't always there, but he's always under control. And it's just a visual thing. And I think that's what happened during the Virgil Ortiz fight, is just his body language didn't match what's happening in the ring. Whether they're going to work on that for this fight or not, I'm not sure. Madrimov is a completely different story than Virgil Ortiz. Madrimov has his herky-jerky style, but is explosive out of that style and very good at changing distance to get out of range and get back in the range. Does he have the power to hurt Boachuk? It's still yet to be seen, and I can say that vice versa for Boachuk versus Madrimov. I think we're going to see two highly skilled individuals in the ring, and may the best man win, but I think it's going to be a barn burner for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's why I'm just kind of concerned that they got Madrimov lined up right to fight, and probably another barn burner with Virgil Ortiz right behind that. Like it's, I don't know. Yes, he is challenging himself, but man, the way these guys move today, I mean, it seems like he's putting himself at a disadvantage, but maybe not. You know what I mean? Because maybe wasn't so much as I guess as soon as this one when Andy Ruiz when he upset Anthony Joshua. I think he fought like what was it like 4 months? I don't think it was 2. It might have been a little bit longer if anybody knows, but you know, I mean he was in a tough fight. Well, it wasn't no war, but he was sharp, he was ready. I feel like that was an advantage he had over Anthony Joshua. And the fact that Joshua just really wasn't on his shit at all. He partying with Meek Mill and doing all this running around New York and all that, but that's another story.
In my opinion, Madrimov is setting the example. In my opinion, if you can go in there versus Crawford, then beat Boachuk, who was the former WBC interim champion before he lost to Virgil Ortiz, and then go in against the champion that Boachuk lost to and beat him. I think we're going back to a kind of era that would mimic something like the Hagler-Hearns era, where the 4 horsemen fought each other. The 4 kings fought each other.
Yeah.
And let alone it's in the 154-pound division. So I think we're in for a real treat.
Yeah, I agree. We still ain't even talking about my boy. What's his name? Bakram. Hey man, 154 is lit. I to be honest, I could see why Boots. Yeah, Boots is a funny guy, man. Like I'm not gonna lie. I know we were supposed to be moving forward from that, but it's just so hard to move forward from that when you listen to what this dude said and you see how this guy's moving. It's just, man,
I'm sorry. That nigga pussy.
I'm sorry, man. That is just what it is, man. Like, yeah, we spoke about it, but I don't understand how you a real boxing fan head and you watching this dude and he's saying this after a fight and then you hear him about the fight Virgil, you're like, okay, hey, he might be on, and then he says, hey, Virgil, I think I want to do this at 147.
Man, stop playing. You lying, dog.
Yeah, he says he wants to do it at 47. I don't know why. I don't know how. Like, this dude damn near died making his damn weight, but yet I don't understand it. I don't understand it. My fault for going back there. I know we're supposed to be moving forward, like I said, but I'm sorry that one just I don't know, made me feel some type of way. But I know we was talking about this this kid Austin and Shakur. And I meant to ask you guys about Tevin Farmer and how you feel about, this Tevin Farmer that's at 135 pounds, because it's definitely not the same Tevin Farmer that was at 130 pounds. For sure. Not the same guy at all. Like, I feel like they try to put him on a platter with 2 knockout artists like a Raymond Moritala and then, with Cameron Zapata. I don't know. I'll start with you, Jay. Like, what do you think about Tevin Farmer? Like, how do you feel about, him at 135 pounds? And, do you think he can disrupt a couple more stories in this weight class?
The thing I like about Tevin Farmer at 135 at this stage of his career, which is the back 9, is that he is serving his purpose. And what he's doing is they're putting prospects, they're putting their contenders in front of him. And basically, he's a litmus test.
Okay.
He's tough, IQ, skills, experience, former champion. And the idea is that if you can't beat Tevin Farmer convincingly at this stage of the game, you probably aren't ready for the best of the best. So I think he's a litmus test. I'm a fan of his at this stage. I wasn't the biggest Tevin Farmer fan in his prime, but I like the role he's in now. I don't expect him to be world champion at 135 until right now anyway. Maybe if he hangs around and everybody leaves. But I like his role as the litmus test to, if you think you got something, put him in there with Tevin, and we're gonna expose what he needs to work on, or if he even needs to beat it.
So according to you, Willie Zepeda and Raymond Mortala are not ready for the big dogs at 135.
I don't know. I think they might be, or this prepared them to be more ready because Tevin has a bag, and you could definitely look at that tape and say what you need to work on that Tevin Farmer actually opened the gate and exposed. And I think that's the role he's in. I don't think they have him in mind to be a champion. He's the B-side for a reason. But he's probably as good of a B-side that's in the sport right now.
Yeah, because I mean, some people might even arguably said this guy beat Mortala and Zepeda. He dropped Zepeda damn near twice. One was a knockdown for sure. But Zepeda was overwhelming with all those punches and stuff like that. But hey, man, Tevin Farmer, you could say he won that fight. That split decision, all the judges had it all 95-94. I really thought Tevin was gonna pull it off with the knockdown, but he just, but I don't know.
No, I agree. He could have been given the nod, Joe, if he wasn't the B side.
Right.
He got the B side treatment.
Right.
I think there's a strong argument in both of the fights. I really thought he beat Mortala for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got the B side treatment for a reason.
Maniac, man, talk to me, man. Tevin Farmer, how you feeling about Tev, man? At 135, new look Tev at 35. Is he a problem at 35, or is he a gatekeeper or a litmus test?
My guy Tev, he definitely a problem. Definitely a problem. I think it's a fair argument to say somebody got robbed. He put up some of the best performances we've seen at 35 this year, by one person against two of the so-called up-and-coming boogeymen. So whoever ain't on their job, since matter of fact, since they said Shakur ain't had no choice but to fight Kid Austin, Tev was right there.
Yeah.
Could have fought Tev. So,
they're not calling Tev name out. They going. He's definitely a name.
Now, the downside to that though is he already lost to the two people, Shakur been beefing with. So it's leftovers. What's the point? I'm the champion. So that's the downside to it.
You look at it like that.
But right, to answer your question though, Tev is definitely a threat.
Okay. Specs, man. How y'all feeling over there about Tev, man? Tevin Farmer, man, at 135. Is he a problem in the division, or is he a litmus test? Is he the gatekeeper? Specs still there? We get back to Specs. Dre, what you think, Dre? They both sleep. Lunatic, where you at, man?
I think that Tevin Farmer is more than just a litmus test. I think Tevin Farmer years ago proved that he was a problem when he was the only one calling out Tank Davis. I think that we need to get some more integrity in the boxing and have this A-side, B-side mentality completely eliminated from boxing. It's been nothing but a detriment. It's a Floyd Mayweather template that doesn't really apply to the vast majority of boxers out there. I think that if we're going to be honest, Kevin Farmer should have beat Zepeda with a unanimous decision, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, is he a problem at 135? Absolutely. He crawled his way back after he was dismissed by Matchroom Boxing after losing to Jojo Diaz. And he's making his way back into title contention. What is the problem with boxing as an industry saying that that man shouldn't be made a world champion again? If he didn't earn his shot, then I can understand. But if he dug his way back up from the losses to put himself back into contention, he definitely should be back in title contention. That's the way we're told that boxing works.
Right. I mean, he got what I think people really be looking for, though. I mean, you know, to see if he can bounce back through adversity after a loss. I feel like Tev did that, man. You know what I mean? He done shook back strong, man. Like, even though even though he took them 2 losses, he could damn near be up in there with Fight of the Year, man. This dude, they definitely put him in there to get knocked out by these 2 guys, and neither one of them, he frustrated both of them.
Comeback fighter of the year.
Comeback, there you go.
I wish it was that simple, but you know, at the end of the day, he still lost, and that's
he lost. Yeah, he lost.
Oh, he lost.
Yeah, he lost.
You know, I wish it was that simple.
Yeah, they're gonna say he lost for sure. And it's crazy, man. Brandon, man, what you think about Tevin Farmer? If you there, man, you want to speak on it?
What's going on? Yeah, man. Dude, I think he's the perfect B-side fighter. He's gonna bring the smoke. He's professional. He doesn't get knocked out. I don't know the last time I've seen Tevin Farmer get massacred, because every loss is like a 1-round loss, you know?
Yeah.
So I think he's a great B-side fighter. I think he's probably going to be avoided at this point because he almost had 2 upset wins this year. Let's be real. He could have won both those fights, and we would have said, "Oh yeah, dude." Exactly. Obviously, it wasn't a robbery. Exactly. So I think what's going to probably happen is they're going to say, "Look, let's go chill for a couple of years because we ain't trying to get our guys to look bad against you because you've proven that you still got it at 35."
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, he's definitely like I say, he wasn't put there to win. He was definitely, they thought he was gonna get knocked out, and he just wasn't having it. Matt, man, I know you got a lot going on, but if you want to speak on it, man, what you think about Tevin Farmer, man, at 35? All right, I don't think he's there. All right, man. Moving forward, this Navarrete and Valdez too is I think it's a very underrated fight that we kind of touched on a little bit amongst ourselves, but I don't really hear too many people talking about this fight. And I don't really know why, because if you watch the first one, you know this one's about to be crazy. Now, with Valdez, you know, I don't know. It's just something about Valdez when he gets overwhelmed. He just likes to shell up and really ain't. I don't know. He gonna fight back, but it's really not. It's not like that at all. I mean, I don't know what it is. But I got to go to the council on this one as well. Like this Navarrete Valdez. How y'all think this one goes? Who you like? I'm gonna start with you, Maniac, man. What you thinking about this one?
I think it's I hate to say what people's career is going to be, but I think it's the end of the road for Oscar for real if he don't win this fight. I think he understand that. Everybody around him understand that too. So he might come to fight. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. The fight is gonna go like a Burchell type of fight. I think he's gonna knock out Navarrete this fight. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that.
Valdez knocks out Navarrete?
Yeah, I'm gonna say he stops him around the 8th round.
JM, Navarrete Valdez too, man. How you think this one goes?
Let me say this to you and your audience. It hurts me to my soul to agree with your last member on the council, Maniac. But yeah, I do see desperation really driving Oscar. He's a more skilled fighter. I do see him maybe catching Navarrete between shots, because one thing we know about Navarrete, he's already sloppy. But the longer the fight lasts, his lack of discipline, his hands are almost at his waist.
Right.
I could see him getting caught between shots and getting stopped as well. So shout out to Maniac for that. I definitely agree with him on that.
No, it does seem like he fights. When Oscar knocked out Burchill, it seemed like Navarrete fights like that naturally, but with more power. So I feel like if Oscar can figure out that and crack that code, he can knock him out for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
it ain't like Navarrete ain't been stopped and dropped before.
It's true. It's true. I mean, because Liam Wilson arguably knocked his ass out. I mean, shout out to that referee. Must have been his third cousin or something like that. I mean, that count was insane. It was damn near a 12-13 count.
Man, stop playing. You lying, dog.
It was definitely one of those, man. It was, because I don't know how, I mean, Navarrete got back up, did his thing, and got the stoppage, but I mean, I don't know. I look at that fight and I still think that, man, you know. But hey, Specs, man. How you thinking this Navarrete Valdez 2 goes, man? Oh yeah, Giant Specs still out of there. Lunatic, man, talk to me.
I think we need to look at how much is left in Oscar Valdez. I mean, he's taken a lot of punishment over his career. He's had the incident with performance-enhancing drugs and been caught cheating. Is there enough there to be able to go the distance with Navarrete again? I mean, yeah, there should be, but which Oscar Valdez is actually going to show up? It is going to be something that we're going to have to see. Now, Navarrete has that, again, awkward, herky-jerky, long kind of style to him. Is Oscar going to be able to keep him off him for 12 rounds? We'll see. They have the experience of being in the ring with each other. We're going to see what adjustments each fighter makes, and hopefully it's something that entertains the crowd. I think that there's not much talk about this fight because the lure of boxing has always been around championship fights instead of up-and-coming fighters that fight 6, 8, 10, 12 rounders. Being that they're both former world champions, you know, I don't know why we don't have a bigger promotion around them. Maybe because people are interested in what's coming out of, you know, other promotional companies, or, you know, people maybe are just on the other end of watching, you know, Navarrete and Oscar Valdez. I don't know. I think they're pretty entertaining fighters, and I can't wait. We'll see how it works out for them.
Okay. Yeah. You know, Brandon, I know you don't really like the little guys like that, but if you picking somebody in this fight, you know, who you liking this Valdez Navarrete?
Oh, Navarrete. Navarrete. I think Oscar is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Oscar's done. I think he kind of knows this is the last hurrah for him, and I think this is like when Arturo Gatti fought Oscar De La Hoya. You know, he got a good paycheck to say, look, if you want to retire, this is a good paycheck to retire. But I think Navarrete is going to wash the floor with him. And I think, Lunatic, to your point, you know, this is an all Mexican, all Latino, Hispanic card. So it's going to be really big in like California to Texas. But it probably won't be that big out of those 4 states.
Okay. Now, speaking of being done, I don't know if any of it or if everybody in here watched the Tank and Lamont Roach press conference yesterday, and you know, Tank kind of alluding to that after 2025 he be done in boxing, It was very interesting to hear that. I mean, I at first I thought he was saying that, you know, this was his last fight.
Man, stop playing. You lying, dog.
That's what I was thinking. Then he said, no, he said he's fighting 3 more times in 2025 and then it's over. So I'm thinking 3 fights. Then, you know, they mentioned Shakur. He got kind of annoyed. Like, you know, I mean, why are you asking me about him? What has he done? Da 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 da. So then, you know, I started asking myself, you know, what I've seen other people asking, like, well, what the hell has Lamont Roach done, or Frank Martin, or Ryan Garcia? You know, besides, you know, the bag with Ryan, of course, clearly, but them dudes ain't done nothing to earn a fight with, you know, supposedly a top dog. You know, him and Shakur not unifying right now. I believe that's sad. I believe that's extremely sad. I don't even know, you know, neither one of them was about to fight somebody that makes sense. I mean, you're bringing a guy up from 130 that was clearly looks like it was your homeboy or something. So, JM, that stuff you was talking earlier, I see it. I mean, they were homies, and now he trying to get his homie paid. But why you ain't unifying in the division? I mean, Shakur, Baranicek, you know, I don't understand. I don't understand. Maniac, I know this is your guy, but you know, take me, you know, how you feeling about what Tank said about retirement yesterday? And what do you think about him not unifying right now when the opportunity is there?
Well, first of all, shout out to the king of DMV. You know, it just seems like he's going through a lot.
Is that who that is?
He got a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying, on his shoulders right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? He got 3 cities on his back. You know what I'm saying? He got to put on for Baltimore. He got to put on for DC.
I'm sorry.
He got to put on for, you know what I'm saying, for VA too. So it's hard. You know, Keyshawn doing his thing for Norfolk, so he don't even gotta stretch Norfolk. They in good hands.
Okay.
But from the DMV up to Jersey, got to put on, bro. And it's a lot of pressure that's getting to him. It was clear as day, right? So, so yeah, he tired of that. And 2025, he about to wrap this up. And only thing he was saying really is, why y'all bringing up the core in a time like this? Like, what he's not saying it in the sense of he just ain't done shit in boxing. He's saying, what has he done to where I just have to fight him?
Well, how about this? How about this? He's a champion in your division, and you said you wanted to be undisputed. How about that? Is that fair? Okay. He said that. I mean, yeah, I know they want to say not listen to what these boxers say, but man, if we don't listen to what they say, we got to not listen to all of it, right? This guy's, that's what he said. Well, now he's saying he don't care about belts and shit. Come on, Tank. Come on, dog. But the thing that got me is when they asked him, "Hey, Tank, how did this Lamont Roach fight come about?" Bro, he just did some lying nigga shit. It was crazy.
Well, this is the thing.
It was crazy.
This is what I'm confused about.
Okay.
People say they want to be a boss.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be fighters to be bosses, they own bosses.
Yeah.
But when these fighters finally they own bosses and they start doing boss shit, people say they ducking somebody. Or they ain't doing it on their time, on the fans' time. He a motherfucking boss. So I get to pick and choose when I'm going to fight Shakur. Lamont Roach did enough for us to pick him. We in the business.
How was that boss stuff? Like, you literally ain't even, like, you got 1 belt in your division. You know it's 4 belts. If you want to be the boss of that division, you got to be at least unified.
Joe,
right?
And you talking about him being the boss of a division. Joe, he literally staring the spot of the face of boxing. Fuck being the boss of a division.
That's cool.
He's damn near the face of boxing. What does that mean?
Yes, what does being the face of boxing really mean? He just getting the most money or what?
I mean, you talking about
is that what
notoriety? You talk about, I mean, if people want to bring in legacy, because people only think legacy is who you fight and the belts as well. Like, come on, man, this nigga is breaking like record gate
You know what I'm saying? And still knocking people out cold, whether it's the people they want or not. Hey man, I think Tank winning. So yeah, he'll fight Shakur. And I think Shakur is doing on his own detriment in the race to get the Tank fight. So hey,
I don't think Shakur's in the next 3 fights because if he was, they would have definitely said yeah. I mean, they said Ryan. He was like, yep. They said somebody. Who else they said? They said Ryan, and I don't even. Oh, what else did they say?
I'm saying like, why is it such a demand? The only reason this demand for Shakur to fight Tank is because of the history that's there and the style, the clash of style,
and the belts. Why do we want to make the belts count when we want to make it fit our narratives? Those belts.
Listen. So understand this.
Yeah.
Now, other than that, y'all the same people that criticize this man for having one of the worst performances in championship history. This is the same guy y'all was just criticizing for not fighting Mortala, for not fighting such and such, and da 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 da.
Sure.
This is the same person. Now, this is the guy that y'all just want to see Tank fight so bad. Come on, man.
The Raymond Mortala, I mean, hey, he said Shakur ain't trying to fight. He said you heard what he said. They brought Shakur to me twice. Next thing I knew, he's fighting Artem and somebody else. Yoshino and Artem or something like that. I said, man, wow.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of pressure on Tank, man. So if 3 fights is it for him next year, then shit, so be it. Go out on this fucking high horse. I salute him for being in control of his own career. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I salute him for that. And if Shakur is not on that list, I fucking live. I'm gonna sleep well.
Really?
I'm gonna sleep well that night.
Really?
I agree with you.
I would like to see Devin on the list or Theo on that list. But if Shakur not on that list, I don't give a damn.
Man, stop playing. You lying, dog.
Wow.
Hey, Joe.
No, I ain't lying.
Hey Joe.
Wow.
Let me apologize to the OSO podcast, the council, the DMV, and Washington D.C. for agreeing earlier with your last voice maniac.
You feel me?
Because as soon as I agree with him, he come up with this fabricated story. So here's my take on your question, though, Joe. And I'll say this first, and this is a little esoteric. Tank is born November 7th. Devin Haney and me are born November 17th. If you know anything about astrology, Scorpios do what they want to do. It don't matter what you say, how you say it, what's popping, what ain't popping. We simply march to the beat of our own drummer, and we don't care about the backlash or the criticism. That being said, people missed something that Tank said when he came off of that stage. Tank said that he was in conflict right now in his life, that he has 2 daughters, and boxing places him in an emotional state where he's not soft enough to be the father that he thinks he should be for his daughters. He needs therapy, but he fears that if he gets therapy, it'll take the fire out of him from boxing. So at 30 years old, after being punched on since you were 7 or 8 years old, it's not a foreign concept now that you have generational wealth that, you really are over it. And I really think that picking Lamont
You can't fight these guys. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But these guys are all free to fight each other if they don't want to, if Tank doesn't want to fight.
So you saying them
Tank
not
says, look,
fighting
I'm
each
not
other is
fighting you. Okay.
a real problem, not the Tank. I ain't even fighting each other to push Tank envelope to say, all right, I done whooped all these dudes. Now
Well, Joe, think about like you talk about 54, right?
yeah,
Fundora, Tim Tszyu, Spence, Crawford, they're not fighting twice a year at 154. So these guys that are at 154 who spin around, the young guys are saying, look, we can get it cracking.
yeah.
We don't have to sit here and wait for somebody to call us. Let's get it cracking and see what happens. I think at 135, Shakur can say, look, if I can't get a Tank fight, hey, can I get a Devin Haney fight? Can I get what can I get? If I can get Devin Haney or a T.O., let's go for it. Okay, Tank's at the picture. It's okay.
I mean, listen, I can see where you're coming from with that. You know, I'm not mad at it, but Tank saying that he's retiring after this year is crazy. And I did peep that, you know, no Leonard Ellerbe, no Coach Calvin, but I mean Coach Calvin, I mean we know it don't. I don't even really whatever he going through with Coach Calvin, they gonna be all right. Now the Leonard Ellerbe, I don't know what y'all think about it, but that was kind of strange that he wasn't around. Cause you know, Tank don't really do too much all that talking, so he don't really get a chance to, you know, because he got flustered when they asked him how the Lamont Roach fight came about. Like he wanted to say something crazy, but I mean, at the end of the day, y'all sent the offer to him. So it wasn't, you know, we can't say Lamont Roach is looking for Tank. Well, we know that ain't true. I mean, he's the champion at 130. Tank ain't fighting at 130. You know, I don't know. It's homie. I guess it's cool, man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man. Let your partner get that paper, man. But at least say that though. Don't, you know.
Hey, Joe, keep in mind that this isn't his first time trying to fight Lamont Roach as well.
Right.
It's been revealed that before he fought Hector Garcia,
right. He
in
sent him an
January
offer.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to fight him.
Lamont put that out there. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So wow. I mean, so you just love just bringing them the smaller guys up, right? But then, you know, Leonard Ellerbe, you know, I don't know if y'all seen that when he said, you know, Tank can really fight at 130. He's really a smaller guy, like, you know, just setting the stage for that. So I'm like, why is he not fighting that? Why is he bringing these guys up to 35 if he can fight at 130? And he doesn't really want to fight the champions at 135 because he's saying they not worth it. But if Shakur not worth
the
it,
amount of opportunity that's there, just being there in the middle, I can either move up to, you know what I'm saying, 40 or 30, or I can just bring either one up or bring somebody down. And he got the power to do that. Canelo got the power to do it. He does it.
Let's also that's also more money. The money that he would have to pay one of these bigger names, you know, that's the first fight
might be in the lead in front of everybody. I thought he was in last place a few years ago.
Yeah.
But to me, I think he's in the lead. Up there with Ryan, because Dev realized, like, damn, like, he was on Tank coattail too.
Yeah.
None of these niggas was fighting each other. Guess what he did? He went on his own campaign. He rode his own wave, made his own lane. Looking at this nigga, if in 3 fights, I guarantee you, Dev.
Yeah, I mean, when they said Devin Haney, he definitely nodded his head. Was like, yeah. They said Shakur Stevenson. We immediately annoyed. Like,
I'm telling you, and he's in last place on his own. He did that detriment to himself.
You think Shakur's in last place?
Yes, ain't fighting the people. Everybody's a bitch. Everybody's a pussy. It's it's all these campaigns and you get in there and you underwhelm. It's an underwhelming performance. And
yeah,
yes, he's definitely in last place. Why would Tank waste his last 3 fights on a nigga like that? That's going to make me look bad in the ring. And I think Tank gonna win, but it's probably gonna be an ugly win. Tank is an entertainer. Wow. He's a star. He get that.
Okay.
Shakur is just a boxer. Until he realizes that. And my bad.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, my brother. My bad.
I'm gonna keep it real. I always said that fight is a boring fight anyway, as neither one of them a lot, and I could just see it being boring as fuck until somebody get knocked out or something.
Yeah.
And shit, I think if Tank retire, it's trash. I'm gonna be honest, because I don't think that he living up to a little bit of his potential right now.
If you could put a time frame on his career, how long do you think he should stay, or how many more fights should he fight?
It ain't like a number to it. I just don't think he ain't did enough yet. You know what I mean? A nigga like Crawford retire tomorrow, it is good. He done did a whole lot of shit in the sport. You know what I mean? I don't think Tank did enough to consider retirement, unless he was just in it for the money. Then I guess he good.
That's what it sounds like, bro. He just like, I mean, if you listen to him yesterday, he was just like, he's sick of this. He's
Well, that's my go ahead, Spit.
You see, like going off of his interview yesterday after the press conference, the way that I was looking at it, I was like, this could be because, when he was mentioning his daughter not wanting to have that trigger in him, wanting to do therapy and thinking that once he goes through the process of therapy, he won't have that same dog in him to fight, that spark inside him. You even saw it in the press conference when he initially made the comments and statements. He's in a place right now where he's trying to not get into anything. And do you know what I'm saying? Within 10 minutes, just the fire lit inside of him. So like, I was looking on it like maybe he might not, maybe the idea of him changing doesn't make the image of boxing suit him anymore. But I think this could be just Gervonta coming of age, for some reason, I don't think he's going to retire. Part of me feels like he's just going to mature and he's going to come with a new approach. But that might change his trajectory a little bit in terms of the fights that he picks. Maybe he turns around, decides to stay for another 2-3 years, and we get the fights that we've been asking for all this time.
Well, yeah, I like what Spec said, the maturing. But I also wanted to say, like, when people talk about legacy, they just think it's belts and you can be undisputed or multi-division champion. Bro, That man's from Baltimore, bro, from the slums. Look where he at now. He got a family. Everybody on his back. Everybody eating. Multi-millionaire. That's
Bro,
the
none of that
legacy.
shit ain't my concern as a fan, bro.
Okay, but that's a legacy to him. So that's his legacy he's fucking fighting for. So when people say they should be fighting for legacy and all that, that's what he's fighting for. That's his legacy.
If I knew Tank, if Tank was my cousin, I would feel where you coming from. But I don't really give a fuck about none of that. I care. I'm watching as a fan. So if I'm watching as a fan, I want to see you do things that's entertaining and enough to feel like he should retire. I get it. He made some money. That's cool. But if that's all you was in it for, I probably should have never been a fan.
But I think you know, a lot of these new age athletes now, they question their whys, and when they question their whys or they go through that maturing, again, a lot of the incentive of, you know, where these guys have come from, speaking on what Maniac is saying, do you know what I mean? Coming from the slums, really hustling and coming from a background that he's changed now. He's probably changed the lives of himself and his family somewhat. So, like, I wouldn't be so, like, if he was to retire, it would be a bit disappointing, but this is prize fighting. If he's been able to set his price, if his wise was to get the bag and get out, salute to him. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
He'll always be the boogeyman in my eyes. Do you know what I'm saying? But it would still be a little bit disappointing because there's a lot of fights that, you know, we would have loved to have seen just for the sake of this great sport.
I can't, you know.
You see, the thing about that boogeyman mentality you just said, Specs, and everybody makes some great points. You can't be the boogeyman and you're the one who's a shot caller. That's just an oxymoron within itself. He has the ability to make the fights happen. If he doesn't want to, then he doesn't want to. But don't try to diminish what somebody else is doing, or don't try to make somebody else look small, because you know that the public doesn't mess with that fighter. But you know what that fighter brings to the table. You know how complex that fight's going to be. We can say maybe boring, you can say whatever you want to say, whatever side you fall on. But I just find it to be capped when people talk about Shakur and what Shakur brings to the table. We know that would be a very tough fight for anybody. Could it be a career-ending one for you? Possibly. Maybe the style of the fight, maybe the way it turns out. But you can't call yourself the best and you have another guy out there who's pretty much ranked under you and he's available and you don't make the fights happen. And I think that's the problem. That's a problem. That's a major problem.
That ain't just happening with Tank,
and
though.
Y'all keep talking about this nigga money and what he's doing. What does that do for you as a fan? How does that help you? What does that do for you as a fan, bro? Y'all talking like y'all are this
What are you
bro.
talking about?
Yeah, who said that help?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, nobody said that's helping anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
But
That
I'm
once
saying-
you understand
I'm
that,
saying,
you
though,
won't be
like-
listen to how disgruntled you sound.
Before we go on track, what the point Asia trying to make is that when we're talking about where he come from, we're talking about what he's achieved thus far. But what Ace's point is, as a fight fan, we want to see him fight the best, especially when you're the guy who can make the fights happen. There's only a few fighters that can make certain things happen. They all made millions. All them boys is rich. Devin Haney's rich. Teofimo, he's trying to get rich. Tank is rich. Shakur got money. So we don't even talk about that no more. That we can put that off the table. We're talking about making the fights happen. Just the art of competition. Every year in the NBA, they fight for a championship. If the Lakers won last year, they got to defend it, and then everybody's competing again to get a championship. Same thing with football, same thing with soccer, same thing with everything. That's what we're talking about.
But you know what, though? Is Tank even saying that, though? Is he even saying, I want to make the best fights? I want to fight. Does he even say that shit? I'm dead ass serious.
It is the timing. Like,
I'm serious, dog. I don't even think Tank is trying to pump fake people. I never even heard him say he want to fight the best. Or I don't know. Maybe I might be
that's
tripping.
the beauty of the internet. That's the beauty of the internet. It's all there. I don't have to try to look it up, but it's all there. When he said he wanted to be undisputed.
Right. Just like yesterday when we heard Boots say he wanted to go to 54. Same thing. Yeah, we heard it.
But do you think that Tank could maybe retire for a year and come back?
probably the way. I mean, these dudes don't fight enough for people to forget about Tank.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, if you're not, that's how somebody gets forgotten about. The new guys keep fighting. You know what I mean? They steady on the TV. You know, making big fights, and then that's how somebody like Tank could get forgotten about. But if these dudes ain't doing that, I mean, it's gonna take a little while before Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis and that crop of guys is the top dudes. Maybe about 3-4 more years. You know what I mean? So he probably could take a year off and come back and still, I don't know. It seemed like it. You know what I mean? Tank.
I think this is bad.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Tank, he's got that aura. Like, I mean, the most casual, common fan knows Tank Davis. Yeah.
I think this is a bad time for Tank to be taking breaks. It's when you got Turkey throwing together super fight cards and shit. Niggas is actually fighting each other. You got niggas like Morrell and David Benavidez. People will forget about Tank. And I ain't saying forget about him like we ain't heard of this nigga, but
yeah,
I think boxing will move on without that nigga. Especially the simple fact you ain't really been doing much of nothing anyway. Compared to what's going on.
I agree. I agree with that. I just think, with the like outside of just the fighter, do you know what I'm saying? And the thing about this great sport is, we see all people like ourselves in this room from all walks of life come and make something of themselves. And, we see people do great things, great things. But I feel like Tank has taken a very scenic route, especially with his campaigning belts, to the point of him saying, he's not really here for belts at all. He's here for the bag. So, I mean, again, sorry, I feel like I'm saying the same thing as I've said before. Like, it would be a shame, but I can't lie. I would salute him same way if he needed to check out at this point for him to be the father he has in his mind to be next. If that's his next mountain to climb, then salute to him. You know what I mean? But there's nothing to say he locks in there and something calls him back. Do you know what I mean? Because I just think there's that thing in him that will never leave him, man.
No, I mean, you gotta respect it, man. When he's talking family and all that, or whatever, man. We really don't even know what Tank going through. For real. He looked kind of uneasy a little bit yesterday. So like I said, we didn't see a lot of
man, that's the weight of Baltimore, DC, and Virginia on his back. That's all you see.
Man, so yeah, I guess so, man.
Well, I will say this about Tank. As much as I want to see him and Shakur getting on, I do respect his honesty. I'd always feel like when he speaks, he's not trying to say the right thing. He's just saying whatever he thinks, whatever he feels in that moment. And I respect that above all else. And I like the energy that Tank brings to boxing. I like the press conferences. I like when he's engaging with the other fighters, when he's playing mind games, even though they don't know his mind game that he's doing. I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So for me to see him walk away would be disappointing. Outside of the fact that I want to see him fight, because I know there's not many people like him today. That's naturally who they are, as authentic as they are. And that's why sometimes I understand when you can see some fighters trying to put on and try to like entertain and pretend to be somebody in these fake personas. Like, that's one thing about Tank I will always give him credit for. Outside of his extra skill in the ring. But yeah, it would be a disappointment. Because yes, he can walk away, but I don't know if anybody else can carry that mantle that he has right now. There's a lot of talent out there, but these boys are still coming up, they still trying. You know what I'm saying? And there's nobody can really carry that weight right now. So if he was to retire for a year, I think he'd come right back and get a bigger bag for real, if I'm being honest.
Nobody can carry the weight, huh? I don't know about that one. It's some.
Then name somebody who can just take up that, to step in his spot right now. that could take the spot, who's captivating as he is, or is it who knocks people out the way he does, who's entertaining in and out the ring like him?
Keyshawn
Davis.
Davis.
Let's just be honest.
Keyshawn Davis.
But he's on the same level as Tank. You think right now?
I mean, entertainment wise, look, listen. Hey, Tank can't come out with the band like a drum major and give me that swag like that. Tank ain't doing that. Tank ain't doing that. Shakur can't do that. Like they can't do that, bro. You gotta.
Tank can do that.
He can't do that. Tank can't do that. Tank can't do that.
He can.
He can't.
He just hasn't.
No, he can't do that. Why?
He has the aura. He has the aura to do that.
I mean, I said the swag. Aura's one. He don't got that swag to do that, to come out like that. He's
do what, though?
Huh?
Yes, he do, bro. This is saying they gonna be hitting backflip off the ropes and like, come on, Joe.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's. I'm like,
he has.
You gotta have a. Huh?
Can't do what?
What Keyshawn did come down with the band like that, like the drum major come out there with the swag and the dance and stuff like that.
You can do it now. When you said Shakur,
come on, bro. I'm thinking that you're talking about something physically or something like.
No,
anybody can do that silly shit. That ain't nothing.
Nah, anybody can do that, and it's definitely, you know what I'm saying. You gotta have some type of swag.
Anybody can't come with a fucking marching band.
No. You can come with the marching band, but can you come out like dancing with the band like the drum major? You can't. That's different. That's not, anybody can't just do that. No, they can't. They can't. I mean, anybody can just have a band out there for sure. When I'm talking about what he did with the band, like that's a little bit more.
Joe, you just said all the nigga did was come out dancing with the band, bro.
I mean, yeah.
Anybody can do that. It don't mean you go dance good. But I mean, that's not.
That's what I'm saying. He danced good. Like he looked like he was a drum major. he looked like a drum major, man. That's what I'm trying to say. Bro, we talk about entertainment. We talk about entertainment. That's why we talking about the entertainment.
Now these niggas got to be Chris Brown on their way to the ring.
They ain't gotta be breezy. But if you giving me some kind of breezy, like, hey, I'm wide. I'm like, okay, hey, you know what to do. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I get it. I'm not saying you got to be in this whole you know, you ain't got it. I'm just saying, but if you can give me a little bit of that on the way, I'm like, okay, cool. It's a little entertainment. Especially for a casual fan, they gonna love that. Oh, look at Keyshawn, he can dance. Yeah, he gonna get that for sure, 100%. A lot of that.
Hey, y'all, just jumping in real quick. You know, Tank's charisma seems to really show up after the fight. You know, It seemed like that's when he light up his conversations. Just, you know, the backflip, just the whole celebration got the crowd going crazy.
Yeah.
Usually it's off a devastating knockout, but he usually seems to keep it pretty low key. But we got to admit, the last few fights, he has done so much better, maybe except for this most recent one. He's done a lot better in press conferences, answering questions, formulating his answers, stuff like that. You can tell he's been working on that.
Yeah.
He was just,
he was a little media trainer.
He was OSOS on this last one, but he's done some training for sure.
But the question, do you think is because there is no real issue, and this goes back to him being authentic, there's no real issue with Lamont Roach outside of competition. There's not, you know what I mean? So he's not going to fabricate no type of fake beef, similar to like what we've seen between Crawford and Spence initially when they were talking. They never really said nothing outside of, you know, the boxing ring, you know what I'm saying?
He found some motivation though yesterday, man. As soon as somebody said something about some money, he activated.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course, but that's still competition. We're not
Sure.
personally.
All right.
Nothing that he could use as Twitter as motivation, like, oh, I'm gonna knock you out in 2 rounds, like what Ryan said to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, also, do you guys? I don't know if y'all talked about it, but you know, Tank for the Frank Martin fight, coming into the press conference, stuff like that, he already looked like he was in good shape. He didn't look as in greatest shape for this press conference. I wonder what his weight's like, you know, stuff like that. Because he came in that Frank one like, oh shoot, he ready to go just from the initial kickoff press conference. And so I just wonder, you know, does he really have some real stuff going on outside the ring? because he didn't look as motivated. Not saying he can't get there, he can, but you know, he looked good the last couple fights going into the press conferences.
Yeah, I think so. I think he definitely has something personal going on. I mean, it definitely seemed that way. His energy seemed, you know, a bit off. You know, like he said he was sick of what was going on. You know, I don't know. That could mean a whole bunch of different things. But you know, for a guy to say, you know, next year is his last year in boxing, and he seemed like he was pretty stern on it. But like, I don't know. Like, sometimes this is where I get torn to be, you know, where I'm listening to what these guys saying at the same time I'm knowing that they full of shit. You know, because if we being honest, Shakur is supposed to be retired already. He already retired a year ago. But yet he's the champion about to fight on February 22nd. So it's like, I don't know.
T.O.'s done it too.
T.O., you know, I mean, yeah. T.O., we even pay attention to T.O. what he said. He says anything. He said, you know, I mean, let him tell he's about to fight Crawford. You know, he's inching closer to fighting Crawford. I don't know. Oh, speaking of, touch on this before we get up out of here, man. So it's rumored that Bud and Canelo are fighting in May next year. T-Mobile Arena. Anybody see that or heard of that? Or that was crazy. I don't know.
No, I ain't heard that one.
Yeah, I saw that. It came up on my timeline. Let me see.
Yeah, I saw it too. And I was also reading, they said Bud was recovering from an injury. Have y'all heard anything about an injury? One of the things that I read, it said that Bud's recovering from something. I had not heard that.
It's my first time hearing about an injury.
Yeah, I didn't know if anybody had any insight. I wonder if there's something.
Who was injured?
Bud,
They
recovered
said,
from injury.
I was reading, I don't know, one of the writers on Twitter was talking about them negotiating for May, but it's not going to happen until May because Bud's recovering from an injury. But they didn't say what the injury was. They could have just been clickbait, you know. But I didn't know if anybody had heard anything.
I mean, he definitely could have got attacked by a rhinoceros when he was.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he was definitely in the safari.
Right with the animals, nigga.
No, facts. And they was running from some too.
Grizzly bear.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised if a monkey punched that nigga in the arm or something. He was out there in the trenches, nigga.
Definitely was.
Yeah, that monkey was like, I heard what T.O. called you.
No, straight up. Well, man, listen, man. I appreciate y'all's time, man. You know, we're gonna cap this episode off with that. And listen, we back tomorrow again, 10 a.m. to 11. We went a little bit over today. Who cares? It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's another episode of Who Gonna Catch These Hands. I'm your boy, Joe Prophet. You know I'm always tapped in with the council. Man, we see y'all tomorrow, man. We appreciate it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.